Minato versus Leon. So winner of this faces Paulie in round of 16. So winner of this is going to get a very, very tough match next round.
Oh man, and what a match this is gonna be. You know, the name WLYMinato is like, it doesn't. I don't see that name very much in tournaments, but I see that name a lot in, you know, like ranks in the ranked section.
Yeah,
so,
on leaderboards. For sure, for sure.
You know that like we're definitely gonna have an accuracy battle.
Yeah, and Leon's a tried and proven tournament player. You'll see him all the time if you watch tournaments at all, and very good at that as well.
Yeah, Leon's an exceptional tournament player, so
For sure.
I don't expect any player to win without having to fight.
Fight for it. Yep. And like the last match, the Adri versus Paulie match, I believe that this has the capability of going to tiebreaker as well.
Yeah, and yeah, I really don't know these players' skill sets otherwise, other than like knowing that Leon's a good tournament player and Minato's a good accuracy player. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to watch.
Yeah, it comes down to practice time. You know, with SVs, really, you can grind them for 10 plus plays and slowly get your scores up on them. So you're not really locked in anything as long as these players put in enough time to get their scores where they would like them. I believe that it's going to be very good.
Yeah.
And also, viewers might be confused on why Leon's screen is so blacked out. And you'll see he also asked for a free mod because Leon is
A flashlight
typically
player.
a flashlight player, yeah.
He's a flashlight player.
And he chooses to do this. It's not... I believe Leon even says that he plays better with flashlight than without it, which typically you'll see from people that prefer hidden or flashlight.
Yeah, it must be really weird being able to play stuff on flashlight better than on normal.
Yeah.
I know, like,
especially with SV. That's where it starts to get strange for me.
Yeah, I guess like SV makes sense because you know sometimes the visuals can be distracting. But
Sure,
I guess
yeah,
with,
definitely.
like sensor stuff, it is.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought about it like that. We'll just have to wait and see how this goes. I'm excited for this match. I'm definitely really, really excited.
Yep.
I believe there's another match going on at the same time. Not sure if it's being streamed, but it's the Trito versus Satsukel match.
I think that's streamed in the other channel, so I think both of these are streamed.
Yeah. Definitely will be uploaded to the YouTube for sure. All of these matches will be. Hoping to give you guys plenty of content.
Yeah, we'll be showing you guys with all that tournament content. It's gonna be real nice.
Oh yeah. Feel free to make some hype videos. Coming to the end of what I believe is
Minato's warm-up. Usually
Yeah.
it's red team first.
Yeah. It seemed like a fairly chill warm-up from what we usually see with all the Among Us imposter and mashup funny dump charts. So I'm wondering what Leo's gonna think.
You usually get a grab bag.
Yeah,
I'd say it's
definitely.
1/2 regular anime stuff, 1/2 imposter of Locus.
Yeah, 1/2 no SV jump stream, other half Among Us imposter.
Yeah, and let's talk about these players. As I said, Minato has some really good accuracy, and he's got some really good SV accuracy scores, if I'm not mistaken. I'm tempted to like look up his scores on like famous charts like Acorn or the Perks again, and I'm sure he's like placing really well on those.
Yeah, and just from my time around like the ranked SV or love SV stuff, I definitely recognize the name, and you'll see it often. But yeah, like you said, like I've never seen their name in a tournament before, so I think this is one of their first showings, if not their first. I'm not sure if they've done any other tournaments before.
Oh yeah, Minato has rank 13 on Perth again, and that's pretty
Oh my
good.
gosh! Wow.
Yeah, he's got a really clean score on that. Yeah, he's like right up there with Fedak, Walter Toro, Nifa, Jakad, and all of those other SVET.
Yep, and Leon choosing hidden instead of flashlight for this one. Very interesting. I wonder if Leon's gonna be playing the SV, maybe the memo with hidden. Rather, I'm not sure. That's interesting, especially with like I do what I want. I wonder if Leon's gonna be avoiding that map because it has the 0 BPM note that like hangs at the bottom.
I don't even think that like that's not as much memorization as jumping jacks. I would say jumping jacks is definitely
Yeah.
part that you probably want to put hidden.
Yeah.
Because I do what I want is definitely more of a visual memorization. I do what I want requires audio timing.
Yeah, and with lane covers too, I would think they would just put lane covers maybe on their skin rather than opting to use flashlight or hidden. Really interesting. I know Rose does both. She has a lane cover on her skin as well as using hidden.
Looks like this is probably Minato's warm-up because he's having a pretty significant lead at
Yeah.
seems to be SVs.
The SV warm up, yeah, and it seems like Minato's comfortable with it, so maybe the last one was Leon's.
Yeah.
Definitely a good score. 984k on that seems to be pretty decent.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I haven't played the map. We're gonna get into rolls.
Yep. Hopping into rolls. Leon's got to put on flashlight for his rolls.
How does that work?
You have to type it without looking at your keyboard.
Everybody does that, so it's not really that.
Not my grandma.
Yeah, no shit.
Waiting for chat to fix itself, but seems like Minato wrote a 4 and Leon wrote a 14. Then there
so
barely catch it.
Leon's
So.
gonna
Wow.
land second because you've always seen the person who wins the roll ban second, and that second person bans flicker move or something else if the first person bans.
Yeah. Yeah, winner of the roll gets to pick. However, I'm pretty sure every match that I've watched, winner of the ban is always ban second.
Yeah.
So it looks like I do what I want ban. And that's opposite of what we usually see. We've seen jumping jacks get banned a lot rather than I do what I want.
That's rather surprising. Like, I could see like maybe that's maybe kind of cue that Leon wants to maybe stay away from the memorization, the picks that required having a audio timing. So maybe something like flicker mood could be up Leon's alley.
Yep. Oh, there's the ban from Leon, flicker mood, just as we were saying it.
Unfortunate, but
keeping with that 100% ban rate. It
yeah,
looks
let's
like
get it.
Yeah, Leon's gonna hop right into flicker or framework right here, which we could have called a million miles away that Leon would end up picking framework. This just fits his playstyle so well.
Yep,
but with Minato's Ack might be able to challenge him on this.
This is gonna be really close. I don't know who's gonna win this.
Yeah.
Between Minato's Ack and Leon's accuracy.
I think Minato most likely has the upper hand on this one. However, this is a strong pick for Leon just because of hidden / flashlight, like lane cover stuff. This is very friendly to that.
Yeah, because most of the action happens on the note itself, because if you have the full reading on, it's really easy to hit a bit late on this amount. So you've always got to be hitting a little bit early, visually. If you're just timed by audio, then hitting is gonna really help with that.
Yeah. Oh, Leon opting to frame or to no mod this actually. Interesting.
I suppose like the SVs are a bit gentle anyways, and that it's mostly accuracy challenge.
Yep, and you can see it right out of the gate. I mean, just look at Minato's error bar.
It's centered. Well, I mean, both these players have centered error bars, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, Minato's is so beautiful.
And we're seeing sparks fly here because, I mean, there's a 300 rush on those 24ths, but
yep, hitting kind of late there, and Leon being able to catch up a little bit, but it's still flickering back and forth.
Yeah. And I expect these accuracies to climb in the second half because the second half doesn't have any of the faster rolls.
Yep, and there's still a no SV section at the middle point too as well that players can build up their ack on.
Yeah. But as of now, the score's very even. There's virtually nothing separating these players.
Yep.
I could swap these players and, you know...
Wouldn't be able to guess
who's
who.
Yeah. We're going to slow jam.
Looks like these players have basically identical scrolls as well.
Oh, that is true. And there's like not a lot separating these players, both in skill and score right now.
Definitely.
This is gonna be really close coming to the end, and since these scores are probably a handful of perfect separation at most, it's really gonna come down to the ending.
Yeah, Minato picking up a couple perfects on those jumps there.
Minato's error bar is a bit late. He needs to center his error bar, or he's gonna lose on defending. But
yeah, it actually looks like Leon's is just a smidge late, but not enough to be dropping a lot of perfects. So it looks like Leon's gonna take this, by probably 4 or 5 perfects here.
And I would say
never mind, 17. Wow.
That was definitely a win simply by that ending. Leon just had the better hit error.
Yep. Yeah, 70 perfects on that is an unbelievable score. 87 perfects on that is an unbelievable score. You'll see a lot of matches here with V1SSs in like the 150s for perfects.
Well, okay, so I wouldn't say unbelievable. Like, I would say it's good for sure. And like most of these scores are very clean, but I'd say unbelievable is something like
Jakad's score. I checked out the MP link. I believe it was 17.
Yeah, okay, that's expected.
Something like that.
That's really fucking good. That's insane. Yeah, but
very, very good.
Both players showing their proficiency on those on accuracies.
Yeah, and the scary thing is, I think that was the pick that most suited Leon. Ruins as well, which I would feel like Minato would try to jump straight into something like Forsaken or Jumping Jacks or even Routing to try to throw Leon off, perhaps. But Ruins, pretty similar to Framework with the stutters. I would say just a little bit more intense and definitely it's a higher combo count as well.
Yeah. And like and we saw Minato hitting a little bit late, getting a little bit tripped up by those stutters in Framework. I wonder if we're gonna see the same in Ruins.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll most likely see another V1 SSF, if not 2, on this map.
Yeah, I think we can. There's a good potential for 1, if not 2, SSs.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Jumping right into it. Shoutouts to Padiraj.
Shoutouts to Padiraj. Shoutouts to Undertale. Shoutouts to Chortle.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Chart.
And Padiraj, when they initially posted this map in the Coolers channel, I really liked it out the gate, but they were also really, really receptive to changes that we wanted to make to this, so definitely, I think, one of my favorite maps in this pool.
these stutters can be a little bit tricky, but it looks like both players are proficient. We'll see if they're consistent as well.
Yeah, both players holding identical accuracies. Only ever deviating about a couple perfects. Leon actually dropping a decent amount of perfects there and falling behind a little bit.
300s is going to make a little bit of a difference here, actually.
Especially players are about to hit that 400 combo scoring cap, so if they're not going to drop any 200s early on, then they definitely can't drop any when the notes are worth more.
I don't think that matters in Score V2, because, like, Score V2 only has a... Like, your combo bonus score is only determined by combo, not, like, the order in which you hit the 200s.
Yeah, well, you have the combo scoring, so it's kind of similar to Taiko, where you hit that combo cap, but a 200 hit early on when the points aren't worth as much.
Yeah, but speaking of 200s...
Similarly. Yeah, Leon dropping one there.
Leon.
And you can see how much that flipped the score in Minato's favor.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if you're taking 200, that's approximately 20 perfect, and 20 perfects is going to do a big number on your accuracy, as we just saw.
Yeah, in some matches earlier, I mean, players were dropping double-digit greats on this, so you can see that these players are just so proficient.
Yeah, but
slow jump
not
really,
just
really
not being
well.
tripped up at all. Leon is just a little bit behind, but maybe that lead is a little bit more substantial given these players' proficiencies.
Oh, was that a 100 from Leon?
That was, in fact, another drop. I don't think it was a 100, but...
A very, very late hit there, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would think ratios are almost identical still as well, so... I'd say even a miss in this last, like, 10 seconds here would give Leon the win from Minato, so I doubt we'll see that. Yeah, but we'll close it out. 995.
Very smart pick from Minato. Was able to capitalize on a pick that worked well in his favor and not in Leon's.
Yeah, but it was scary seeing Minato pick that because I would think Leon would have that down pat with how reminiscent it is of Framework. Which Leon
I wouldn't say Framework and Runes are that similar.
They're not, because it still has like those slow jump things, but the stutters are just a little bit more intense.
And like, given these stutters, I'm actually a bit surprised that Minato banned I Do What I Want.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm not, because both Runes and Jumping Jacks kind of required you to time from audio. And that really seems to be where Minato's strong suit is.
Yeah, it seems like we're going to see a superstar pick from Leon. It's a reading pick, however, it's not sight readable, for sure. A lot of teleports that can catch you off guard with the rhythm on those quarter note triplets, you know.
Yeah, and there's one triplet burst that's especially hard, and that comes right in the break section. And we're going to see if these players hit that triplet. We're going to see if the players hit the triplets.
Yeah, I would say there's 2 to 3 like very specific spots in this map that are where it makes or breaks your run.
Yeah.
I'd say this burst for sure, and then the triplet section.
There's an early. Okay, that wasn't
a lot of perfect drop, but players just get into a slow start, but Minato just taking a little bit of a lead here in these LNs.
Yeah, not much to say from this beginning. I mean, like...
This isn't where the notes are, so it really means not a lot in the grand scheme of things for this map. Such a good song. I love this song.
Yeah, and this map is pretty catchy, and it's really enjoyable all around.
Yep. Leon hitting a lot of early perfects there, but still able to, despite that, get his act up a bit, but drops to 200, drop himself right back down.
And right when Minato was dropping some 300s, Leon actually dropped to 200. So.
Yeah. That was his chance.
This is a no SV section. Well, I mean, there's some very mild SVs here, but this is a place for players to gain their accuracy, and now this is the slow
That
section.
that part specifically, both players dropping 200 and that 200 and
here's
100.
and Minato drops on the sus section. And so does Leon, actually.
Yeah, Leon dropped a 100 and a 200 on that part. So dropping more AC than Minato actually did, but still somehow both players. I mean, the AC isn't that huge of a difference. That was the part though.
It's the same as before the drop.
Yeah, that was definitely the part that we were saying to look out for these players. It's really, really off-putting if you aren't consistent on it.
But it looks like we're wrapping up. I think the only thing people have to worry about are the slow jams at the end.
Yep. There's a couple speed ups, or like teleports here towards the end that you do have to work out for.
SVs.
Yep. Yep, and that slowdown, both players dropping 200s.
Yeah, funny how they both dropped at the same time.
Yep.
Like all of these SVs.
Yeah, you can see the exact parts where we're saying to look out for, and these LNs can give players that maybe aren't as proficient in LN a problem, aka me. I've dropped at the end here. But yep, with this just coming down to the last releases, it looks like Minato's going to take this by about 5,000 points.
And it's a break point for Minato, which means that we'd be potentially seeing a 3-1 game if Minato wins his own pick that's coming up next. But I wouldn't be surprised if Leon took it right back.
Yeah, any of these picks, these players seem so evenly matched on all of this.
Yeah, and like, besides the 200 count, like, these players dropped at the same spots.
The exact same spots, yeah. Yeah, and the ratio lead just barely going to Minato on most of these maps. Like, you can tell that Minato definitely has a little bit of the upper hand on this ratio game. But everything else, like, if you're not V1 SSing, then it comes down to where you're hitting those 200s. And it seems like these players are basically evenly matched in that aspect.
Yeah, and we've got routing picked, and
very interesting pick.
I think that this is one of Minato's more riskier picks, honestly, because it's a very visual song. It requires a ton of reading. And maybe I could be wrong because like Superstar was also a map that required reading, and Minato scored quite well on that.
Yeah, no, definitely routing requires a lot of focus because there's some syncopated notes that come as a jump scare to some players. Some players that will know the song will be able to read them easily. And after 1 or 2 plays, you'll also be able to read them really easily. Just comes down to knowing where those lie.
And like, we're gonna see a little bit of a tough section coming up now. It might trip up players. It's the triplet section. You'll see what I mean.
Yep,
right here. Leon drops a 200 from there.
Yeah, Leon dropping a 200, but Minato hitting that fairly well.
So once again, it's going to be Minato with the accuracy lead, although both players are doing relatively well in this.
Yep, and score not going too far in Minato's favor. And with Minato dropping a couple 200s there, actually. Leon as well dropping 200.
Both players messing up on the syncopations.
And more 200s from Leon is just going to put him more in a hole. He just has to keep it consistent and hope that Minato drops more.
Yeah, and I guess like this is a place for Leon to gain some points as well as the ending, but we've seen Leon mess up at the beginning, so we saw Leon mess up there, and he drops some 200s, and Minato's looking pretty strong coming in.
Yeah, for sure. And with Minato picking this map, I would hope that they have it pretty down.
And I think he does have it pretty down.
For sure, for sure.
These ending syncopations can, maybe trip some players up, and it does trip up Leon.
For Leon, yeah. Hitting there with a 94 to a 969 there. And quite a big difference you'll see in great count. Just coming down to Leon not really being able to read the syncopations or the triplet parts as well as Minato did, sadly. But going in 3-1 in favor of Minato, it's going to be Leon's pick, so we'll see what he tries to pull out here.
Yeah, and I would say this was a rather decisive win from Minato. You can see the accuracy superiority.
For sure.
And that's definitely more a function of knowing the map better rather than having the better accuracy. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, one leads the other, but like
Leon
the other isn't
picking
necessarily. Yeah.
Fjarluger. Very, very interesting. I think, honestly, I really like this pick. So I really like this pick because the only other choices are, right, Forsaken, Control, or Jumping Jacks.
I think Control would be decent for Leon, but I think especially like Leon, who's seen Shelterguard in 2 other tournaments before, probably has
Yeah.
a ton of experience with this map.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Yeah, with 40M, it being in 40M, and
As well as Southeast Asian's
Southeast,
champions.
yeah, and Leon being in both of those and playing this map and doing very well as well. I'm sure he's got this map very, very consistent.
Yeah, and
So hopefully not a commentator's curse here.
yeah, and like this is a reuse, but like it's a reading SV, so it's okay.
Yep.
But here we go.
Yeah, but I believe Leon played Forsaken as well, which was also in 40M, so you might have that
yes,
as a pocket
that's
pick
true.
too.
Yeah, I think that's something that Minato has the advantage on, regardless.
I would say so, yeah. Yeah, Minato only dropping 2 perfects so far. Up 3-4. But getting into this, the actual meat and bones of it. Here, Leon being able to pick up his act a little bit more right here.
Yeah, and like the big question is if Minato is gonna drop significantly compared to Leon on these faster, these denser SV patterns.
Yep. And I think this Fjarluger pick as well from Leon was kind of a last resort because Leon knows that he has it down. But it was more of a calling out Minato and being like, I don't think you have this down as well as I do.
And it looks like Minato does not have it down because he dropped a 200 and the scores are equal now.
Yep. Yep, and if Leon can keep that V1 SS, I'm sure it'll be a very, very close map here.
Yeah. Minato's already picking up his accuracy, but, you know, he could drop another 200 and it would be Leon's point for sure.
Yep. Yeah, and with these early stage maps like Round of 64 and Round of 32, Minato being such a great accuracy player will have a really, really good advantage on those. Just because of what the maps require versus the later stages.
Yeah, so like Leon coming even close to Minato's courts is already really good.
Very, very impressive. And Leon hitting that roll, but Minato dropping a 200 or 2.
And that's what we mean by having more experience on this chart. If you have more experience, you're
Here's another one coming up. Hits it that time.
Go first, hit those.
Yep. Leon almost dropping a 200 if you look at his error bar. Very, very close there.
Yeah, he almost dropped it, but it looks to be completely okay right now.
Yeah, Leon looking very strong in this pick, like we expected it to be, so hopefully no drops at the end, no commentators' curses. Just gotta keep that ratio up, Leon. Minato can definitely catch up here at the end.
The ratio looks identical from these players.
Yeah. So close here, and we know Minato can pull it.
Minato can take this, but Leon has a little bit of a lead. That lead is shrinking just a little bit.
In the last note there, yeah, Leon just taking it by a little under 300 points there. Wow, doubling his ratio.
And Minato having way better ratio, but it was those 200s in that burst that really decided it.
That ratio is fairly impressive. From someone that's played this map in a tournament before, that is a really, really good ratio.
I would say that ratio is more than yardily impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, great plays from both players. 992s.
And a clutch from Leon, for sure.
Yep. Oh, and seems like Minato's playing out Jumping Jacks, the memo pick that wasn't banned on this.
And it looks like Minato was holding off for this pick as his very last hold.
It's like a last resort, definitely. I definitely like this over Forsaken as well for Minato, because I feel like this is right up his alley with having experience with SVE.
Yeah, I mean, like something like Forsaken is also likely up his alley, but you know that could give Leon a little bit of something to hold on to.
Yeah, something to claw back to.
Something like Forsaken is probably the most efficient way for Minato to finish it up if he does have it.
Yep.
a huge
So
audio advantage.
Minato is saying in chat there, I don't have a map to pick. Now that's a little scary picking a memo. I'm wondering if Minato maybe hasn't practiced this that much.
I
guess
would
we'll
say
just have to
Leon's
see.
definitely more of a visual timer.
Yeah.
So I think this is a pretty smart pick for Minato.
Yeah, and Leon dropping a lot of 200s there early. Not the best. Ugh. Yeah, you can definitely see
But there's
both players
also a
dropping a
call for
lot.
Minato. I think Minato's having a little bit more upside right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see where you're saying that Leon's more of a visual timer. You can see that coming into those big slowdowns.
Yeah, and Minato's crossing the 99 barrier, while Leon is going over 98, so he's got a little bit of leeway to make up.
Yep, and Leon trying to ghost tap these as well. Gotta listen to the music on this. Minato getting huge lead here early. This map not being too long either, only being 1 minute and 33 seconds.
And so an accuracy drop is really
Invisible section here.
Sure. Oh, there is some 200 from Minato, but that actually affected the score less than I.
Yep, only putting the smallest of dents in it. There's gonna have to be a drop here late game, or else Minato, I mean, being ahead by 20,000 points at the end of the map here, I doubt there's really anything that could happen that could swing it back in Leon's favor.
Yeah, and this is definitely one of the easier parts of the map. So,
yep.
And Leon dropped another 200 there, and it's gonna be a win for Minato on this chart and as for the whole.
Yeah, 4-2. Definitely a very good match here, and Leon putting up a great fight against such a strong player on this match.
Yeah.
Very impressive scores all around.
Definitely a very close game, and shout out to both these players for doing very well on this pool with very good accuracies as well.
Yeah, and this is a winner's bracket match, so neither of these players are out of the tournament. So Minato moving on to face Paulie in the next match in round of 16, and Leon getting kicked to loser's bracket, but certainly not out of the tournament yet. I'm excited to see both these players play again for sure.
Yeah, and let's take a look at who these players are facing for next week, because, you know, that's what we always want to see. I mean, we're going to see Minato play against Paulie, which is going to be an exciting match.
Yeah, and then
for players.
Yeah, definitely going to be a really good match. And also you see Ice Cake and this Knight Narumi, the match below it.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be really good.
Winners of that face each other in quarters. Which is going to be...
Ice Cake did really well in the seed. I don't recognize his name, but he did really well in quarters.
Yep, and we'll look for Leon here. Leon, I believe that is Mapsa. So TK Mapsa facing in. This is round of 16.
So it'd be the winner of Sherpster and TK Mapsa if that match has gone already.
Yeah, it happened. Sherpster forfeited.
Okay, so... Okay.
So winner of Leon and Mapsa facing winner of Audrey and Sunapple, which is going to also be a really good match in loser's bracket here. Wow.
Yeah, I'm really excited for some of these winners bracket matches that are coming up right now. Like Paulie versus Minato.
Minato, yeah. Yeah, whatever. Else, yeah, Shoira versus Jakad's. Shoira, a very strong player, and Jakad's obviously known to be a very strong player. I'm sure Shoira can put up a couple points against them.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, I don't know what the next match is. I know we had Trito versus Satsukel on the other channel.
Yeah, Trito and Satsukel was being streamed. Their match is also over now, I believe. So next map that's being streamed, I believe, is the
Speed versus
map.
Medium Tech.
Yeah, Medium Keck, I think, will be streamed. If not, then the Flynn Mac match is definitely being streamed. So, just wrapping up here. Really great match. Thank you guys for all watching. I was Orca, commentating with Chu here.
Hi, I'm True. Thanks for commentating with me.
No problem. It was really fun.
Thanks for streaming.
Yep, very fun. So, we'll see you guys in the next match. Peace.